Welcome. I'm here on Rügen, an island in the Baltic Sea. And whilst I'm walking through this beautiful forest, I'm actually on my way down to the shore to record my first video. In here, I want to share the work that has been emerging over the last years. While I was wandering as a timber framer and sculptor through Europe, exploring beauty and depth, through dance, through love, and simply the adventure of being alive. Now, the time is ripe for me to build a hearth. So please, be my guest. Make it yourself comfortable. This is Mystic Matters. I am Jakob Merlin, and I would like to start this video by expressing my gratitude for such a beautiful place. Not just that there are many swans swimming around here, it's just amazing for me the picture of the forest meeting the sea. Because my last 7 years were so embedded into the woods. And since last year, I felt water entering my life very deeply. I have not a particular story to share here, it was more a feeling. And whilst I saw my work and my website unfolding during the last couple of months, I realized, oh, this has quite an oceanic quality to it. So, this is amazing. And something else I would like to share about right this spot here. This is called the Pirate Bay. And this sounds cool, of course, but that's not why I'm sharing. It was actually a hiding place of Klaus Störtebeker and his allies. And there were pirates, and they were called the Likedeeler. And Likedeeler is not proper German. German people won't understand it anymore. It is a Low German. And Low German is quite related to English. So Likedeeler, you could say it means like dealer. So they were sharing in equals. So every one of the crew got the same. And the folks really loved them until today. And Störtebeker is kind of known as a form of Robin Hood of the sea. And I will come back to this. Before we dive into the waters, I would like to stay with the forest for a little bit. Because the forest is so much of who I am, and so much of my life was embedded into the forest over the last few years. It was 7 years in total I was journeying around, and often even sleeping in the woods, working with timber, building houses, but also having more sensual contact through carving. I was hitchhiking, meeting so many people every single day, and just drawing up in so many information. So even in this crazy time back then in COVID, where the world was kind of split in part, I had this amazing possibility of meeting so many different people and just listening to them. All of these are really precious experiences that are close to my heart. All of this what I've gathered brought up the question for me what to do with it. Last year I realized I'm not gonna find complete fulfillment for my soul in just working on construction sites, but I was still very, very unclear what does that mean, because what I've experienced is it's so much in here, it's so much underwater, it's so much hidden. As one who is so connected to the hidden realms, to the subconscious, I started to realize part of my mission on Earth is to make that more visible, to bring it more into matter. And I'm at the very beginning of actually saying yes to the journey, and showing up here is part of doing so. Of course, over the last years also life offered me different ideas of working. And one of them was going into a therapeutic way of working, and I realized something is nagging me in there. I don't have much joy in there. Of course, it's beautiful to help other people, but what I absolutely dislike is as soon as we lose eye level. And it kind of breaks my heart as soon as I realize people export authority and don't just keep it inside where it belongs. So this is also why I came up with the Likedeeler story. It was just beautiful to realize that I'm at that spot. And what I realized is that I want to create a space where I can meet others in equal. Of course, I'm going to open up a space for whoever wants to come in. This is my fireplace, this is my hearth, and I'm going to share my full presence, but I'm not going to tell anyone what to do or what to think. But I realized there's something absolutely precious in simply listening. And part of my own journey was to realize that it's not about arriving anywhere. And often these therapeutic spaces are quite that. And don't get me wrong, they're really precious, and sometimes it's really worth to arrive somewhere in life. You can absolutely do that. But not at the end of oh, now everything is fine and over. Life is an adventure. And it's just really important for me that it's not about fixing. And for me, just personally, I might lose the joy because I actually want to meet others. And because I was missing a good word for the role I want to fulfill, I was really happy through etymological exploration to arrive at the word Magwith. Magwith is mag, which is the hidden realm, which is the hidden potential, and wit, we do know it from witness. So a Magwith is one who meets the hidden potential through presence. So there's no forcing to bring something up, but to stay close and pay attention and watch what wants to come to the surface and come into being. sharing this, I have to think of the beautiful story of the little prince and how the little prince is meeting the fox. And the prince is trying to make friends everywhere in the world. So he's trying to make friends with the fox, but the fox is cautious and says, if you want to be my friend, you have to tame me. And the prince says, taming? What does that mean? And the fox says, yes, humans have forgotten how to create ties. You need patience. You have to sit at right the perfect distance and just wait. And maybe I'm gonna come a bit closer. And on the next day, you can come back. And I might come even closer. And on some day, I might have realized that you are coming. And I'm even gonna look forward for you to arrive. At the very end of their meeting, the fox was sharing something beautiful to the little prince. And that is, one can only see clearly with the heart. Everything that is essential is invisible to the eyes. So this little story was sharing something beautiful about the space I've created, which is soul conversation. But my work is about something quite broader, and this is cultivating relation. You probably have heard the terms of we are all connected, which is a beautiful truth, but what do we do with it? How do we relate? And this is a really broad question, and I love to bring it back here. How do I relate to myself? How do I relate to my feelings? How do I relate to my body? How do I relate to my soul? To differ soul from spirit, soul for me is something deeply sensual. It's the world of feeling. It has substance, while spirit is the world of ideas and thoughts. So we might even raise the question, how does my spirit relate to my soul? And from there, I might want to look more into the outer world and see how does these relations matter in the outer world. Which I myself am really happy to find out, because expressing myself here on YouTube is actually revealing my inner world, is sharing my perspective. And this is quite exciting, honestly. To stay with YouTube for a little bit, I want to share the structure of my channel. I'm gonna share 2 videos each month. The first is gonna be prior to a new moon, because new moons are a beautiful time to set an intention and to start a new cycle, because that is what is happening. And I'm gonna share my perspective onto the cosmic patterns that are shaping the cycle. Well, it's your very own thing how to integrate cosmic patterns into your personal life. We're doing this all the time, and every single day we can do this with more presence. I'm going to draw information by watching the stars, but I'm not going to make it heavily in an astrologic language. So you're very welcome, without any big interest in talking about Roman and Greek gods and goddesses, to just contemplate the story I'm sharing, and maybe I'm gonna find 1 or 2 beautiful things for your upcoming month. The second video then is happening around the full moon. It's going to be related to the theme of the month, but from an even more personal perspective, and I'm probably going to explore all sorts of stuff. And for now, I want to thank you very much for being my guest here. If you enjoyed this conversation, you're very welcome to stay close to this channel and also visit me on jakobmerlin.com, where you'll find my writings and lunar meditations, but also my offers as soul conversation and soul immersion. Before you move on, I would like you to close the eyes for one breath. Let the sea come a little closer, and whatever touched you may return and settle into your life. My name is Jakob Merlin. This is Mystic Matters. May we meet soon again.